This is calculator and scientific notation and how to properly use the various types of calculators we come up with to put numbers in scientific notation into our calculator and do multiplication and division problems. So we have 8.75 times 10 to the negative second multiplied by 1.45 times 10 to the 14th. And we get our TI-30XA here. And how it works on this calculator is we are always, on all calculators, we're always going to use parentheses. So we're going to input the first number, and this is our TI-30XA, and to run that first number in, I'm just going to put the little tiles here. So each box is going to represent a tile. We're going to go parentheses, then we're going to enter our 8.75, and then our 10 to the negative 2 function on our calculator is this little EE button right here. So we go 8.75, and then we're going to hit that EE button, which represents times 10 to the, and then we're going to hit the 2, and then if we are asked to change the sign, we're going to hit the little plus minus button down here in the corner to make that 2 negative. So here we go, watch the progression. Okay, so we have parentheses 8.75 times 10 to the with the EE button. And then we go second power, and we want it negative, so we change the sign. And then we're going to close the parentheses. Close parentheses. When the calculator is able of laying out our entire number, it will. If it can't, then it'll just leave the number as times 10 to the. So now we're going to multiply by this number. So we're going to hit our multiplication button. And we're going to follow the same progression, only with our new number. So we're going to go parentheses 1.45 times 10 to the 14th, and close parentheses. Notice the calculator left the number in this form because it couldn't fill the space with it in the screen. It couldn't display the entire number. And now we're going to hit equals. And notice it gives us a final answer of 1.26875 times 10 to the 13th. We look at significant figures. Each of these numbers has 3 significant figures. So our final answer should have 3, so we're going to take the 1, the 2, and the 6. Does the 8 round the 6? Yes, it does. So our final answer here is 1.27 times 10 to the 13th. And we're done. That's the first type of calculator. If we have a different calculator, say the TI-30X2S, which looks like this one, go ahead and turn that one on, clear it. So here you go, if you have the TI-30X2S, again, we're going to enter the first number and show on the steps to take. Again, we are going to put everything in parentheses. So we'll start with parentheses. Then I'm going to input our number again. And you notice the EE, or 10 to the X button, is embedded in the second function on this calculator. So we're going to have to hit the second key and then the X-1 or the EE key. So here we go, 8.75, second EE, so there's our 10 to the, In this case, to make the number negative, we're going to put the negative in next. If it was positive, we would leave this step out, but since we want a negative exponent, we're going to go negative, and then we're going to go 2, and we're going to close our parentheses. We hit enter again, and it gives us our 0.0875 like before. So to finish up our little keystrokes, we're going to put in 2, and then we're going to close the parentheses. So you want to practice that a couple times just to make sure you get that number. We're still going to multiply, and we're going to go parentheses again, 1.45, second EE times 10 to the. Our exponent is now positive, so we're going to leave off this negative. We want it positive, so we're going to go 14, and we're going to close our parentheses, and we're going to hit equals. And notice once again, our calculator gives us 1.26875 times 10 to the 13th. We take our 3 significant figures, and we get the same answer that we got with the other calculator. Finally, with our TI-30XS, some students come up with, turn that one on and clear it. Again, we are going to start with our parentheses. Different ways here, I like using the 10 to the x button here. So here we go, parentheses, 8.75. And then we got this times 10 to the n button in the middle. So we're going to use that. And again, we need a negative exponent. So we're going to go the negative key here, and then we're going to go 2. And now it's important to, if we just try to close parentheses right here, it's not going to work. So we're going to hit the right arrow to step away from this problem. And notice the little flasher is up top. We step away and we get back to normal. So for lack of a better word, I'm going to go draw the circle pad here, and we want to hit the right arrow piece right here. Let's go ahead and write right arrow, and that steps us away from the number, and now we can close our parentheses. And again, we are going to multiply. We're going to enter it, just to have the number again. We're going to multiply that number. When it says answer, it's saying that previous number. We're going to go parentheses, 1.45, again times 10 to the 14th power. Again, we're going to step away and close our parentheses. And then we're going to hit equals. And notice once again we get 1.26875 times 10 to the 13th. Okay. Do one more here without all the numbers, but number 2 down below. So you definitely want to write down the keystrokes that you need for your particular type of calculator. We'll do one more down here, starting with our class recommended one. Multiplication is not too much different than division. Again, we're going to go to parentheses, 4.6 times 10 to the, with our EE button, second power, close parentheses. Notice it displays 460 because it can. We're going to divide that by parentheses, 5.01 times 10 to the. This calculator, I can change the sign now, or I could put 3 and then change the sign. It really doesn't matter. Now I'm going to close parentheses. Notice it displays the number again, and I'm going to hit equals. So I get 16.36. So go ahead and write that out and then put it into the correct number of significant figures. So I'm really going to write out the entire number on my paper, but for the purpose of showing scientific notation and significant figures, we will here. Now with scientific notation and significant figures, we have 2 significant figures in the top number and 3 in the bottom. So our answer can only have 2 significant figures. So we're going to take the 9 and the 1. Does the 8 round the 1 up? In this case, yes, it does. So our final answer is 92,000 with an understood decimal behind the final 0. And in scientific notation, that answer, or that number, would be 9.2 times 10 to the 5th power. On our TI-30X2S, let's work through that one to make sure we can get a similar answer. Clear everything. Parentheses, 4.6, second EE, so times 10 to the 2nd, close parentheses. I could hit divide right now, or I could hit equals. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to hit equals, and I'm going to divide that number by parentheses, 5.01 times 10 to the negative 3rd, close parentheses. And again, there's my 91816.36727, which we could then put into scientific notation with the correct number of significant figures. On our last calculator, the TI-30XS, clear everything. Parentheses, 4.6 times 10 to the 2nd, step away, close parentheses. I'm not going to hit equals on it this time. I'm just going to run it together. I'm going to divide by, parentheses, 5.01 times 10 to the negative 3rd, step away, and close parentheses. If you have issues with this calculator, it's probably because you're not seeing the step away or the right arrow button to get that little cursor back down. I hit equals, and there's my number one more time. So depending on what calculator you have, you want to get comfortable using it to input numbers that are in scientific notation. And that is calculator and scientific notation practice.